Hey, my name is Ketan. I'm the host for your podcast, Selling Around the Globe, powered by CedCommerce, making e-commerce accessible to everyone. This is my weekly solo podcast where I talk about all the tricks and tips, paving a roadmap for you to start selling on prominent marketplaces and make money online. In this episode, you'll learn about all the best SEO practices to use on Etsy marketplace and how to optimize your Etsy listings and get found. Hey everyone, I'm back once again with this episode 4 of Selling Around the Globe Etsy. So today we'll talk about Etsy listing optimization and the SEO hacks that will help your products in ranking higher and higher over Etsy whenever someone searches over the Etsy search. So firstly, what is Etsy listing optimization? So the optimization of your product's listing in a manner that they rank higher or they rank first based upon the relevancy of the keywords a person types on the Etsy search bar is what is Etsy listing optimization. So the better the optimization is, the higher and more visible your listing becomes. And thus you receive more clicks and ultimately more conversion, bringing you more sales. So the main 3 ingredients that make a listing stand out in a manner that Etsy SEO loves it are simply that your listing should be searchable. That's the first thing. First impression when someone looks at it, it really matters, and that is the second point. And the last one comes is your credibility. So let's not delay even a bit and get started with how you can make your listing searchable first. So for that, let's first know how the Etsy search works. It has a simple 2-level process where at first query matching takes place, meaning that the keywords that are typed in the Etsy search, the algorithm looks at the listings to check how close the query is matching with your listing. And the second part comes is the ranking of your products, which generally is done on a number of factors, which we will be discussing right away. So now when we know that how the Etsy search works, let's see how we can optimize our listings for the Etsy search. The main game is of the titles and tags relevancy. This meaning that the query typed in the search should be there in your listing title and the tags that you have used. Now for this, you will need to do some keywords research. Well, there is no rocket science. Well, let me tell you the best practices that you can use. So you can use Etsy search suggestions. When you type something in the Etsy search bar, a number of search suggestions appear in the drop-down. That specifically are the products or searches that have been trending ones around the keyword that are typed. So yeah, this can be one good use for you for your initial keyword research. Now the second comes the Etsy reporting. It is also one of the key ways which can help you to keep a check over the keywords and tags that you have been using in your past and that have worked for you. So if you go down to the Etsy reporting, I'll say insights, well, you got it. So it's very simple checking your insights, seeing that what were the keywords and tags that you were using in your past and that have been working for you, that have been bringing you more sales and customers. So you can go around and play with the same things and can fix out for your new listings, and that's going to work for you. Next, you can go ahead and check your competitor keywords. People who are selling items over Etsy, which are from your niche, you can go and check at their stores, scroll down, and you'll see the list of tags that they have been using for their listing. So right there is Control C plus Control V. Now a bit of playing around with the tags, making them suitable to your exact listing, and bam, it's done. Offside from Etsy, there are a few more ways which can help you in your keyword research. So there are tools like Google Keyword Planner, Uber Suggest, SEMrush, Google Trends, and others which can help you get an idea of what's trending around your product. And now people, so if you're using CedCommerce's Etsy integration app, well, there is a panel dashboard itself. There is a section of the trending products, trending hashtags actually revolving around the product niche that your shop is into. So you do not have to go anywhere. Well, if you have been using this app, you must be knowing about this section. But if you want to try this app, it's right there on the Shopify App Store. All you need to type there is Etsy integration, and that will be the first one there. So it's trending right there as well. Well, now enough of the research. So now this is the time to fill those keywords you researched in your title and description. So now the best practices for stuffing keywords in titles is using the exact phrases. That can be like olive green face mask for an example. So the other thing can be using the similar keywords in the titles and tags together. Like many argue upon this, but using all 13 tags surely gives you the more opportunity to reach the buyers looking for the products to buy. Like the more number of tags you're having, the more number of search terms you're covering, and thus your product is supposed to rank, is suitable to rank for more and more search queries. So that's how it works. Now, keeping your listing titles clean is also recommended so that it is easily readable. And yes, you can also include spaces or separators in your titles to increase readability. And one last thing for the titles is that you should be using short, clear, and descriptive titles, like that are easily readable and are also SEO friendly. Well, there has been a lot of argument that is the position of your keywords in your title does matter, but looking at the SEO perspective, it does not matter that much. But why it is suggested so that it acquires the relevancy. So if you're choosing a keyword, let's say green olive face mask, and someone is searching the same keyword, and this is your keyword and tag, and it is in the initial phases of your title, so it's going to show relevancy and you're going to get more clicks eventually. So that is why the keywords placement is also suggested, that you should be keeping the keywords earlier in your title, like because see, sometimes people are using mobile for Etsy. So in the mobiles, what happens is the titles get, because there's not enough space, so the title gets that triple dots, that means you read more things, so your whole title is not visible. In that case, this is suggested. So coming to the next practice is for the descriptions. Now make sure that your description, like in your descriptions, you are very clear of what your product is or includes. Plus, you cannot forget to add keywords in the description as well. Now this is because the products of yours will be ranking on Google SERP maybe when someone is making a search there. So there are probable chances that because your description is filled up with keywords, remember, don't overdo that. So it can surface on the Google searches as well if someone is doing that. Etsy SEO specifically is not concerned with the SEO things that you put in the descriptions of your product. So yeah, you have to be descriptive there. You should be mentioning that what your product exactly is. Now you should be very clear of your policies and regulations and the disclaimers that you are having, that your brand is having. And lastly, like as I said, keeping it extremely detailed is really suggested. Like what I personally prefer while I'm looking for a product is that whatever question is popping up in my head while I'm looking at a listing, each and every question that is popping in your buyer's head should be very clear and there should be no space for confusion. So that were the tips for the titles and descriptions of yours. Now, when your title is all equipped with the keywords in the titles and descriptions, everything is all set, your titles are clear, descriptions are clear and descriptive. Now comes the time when you make your listing attractive so that it steals the gaze of your buyers. So remember, Etsy is an artsy marketplace. When a keyword is searched, a lot of search results come, many listings come, each having their own aesthetic. So how to stand apart is one big thing there. So I'll divide it in two parts. So at first, let's see how you can improve the first impression for your listing. So yeah, here, first things first, I have been saying this in my previous episode too, that what looks good sells better. So yeah, have an amazing cover photo of your listing. And remember, the more pictures you add, it gives your buyer a clear idea of what he or she can expect to get delivered. Now to add to this, the best techniques for an amazing product photo, what I personally, when I'm clicking some product pictures, is like using apt lighting conditions. There should be clear background, not too much mess, and the ambient should be very simple so that the focus specifically stays on the product. So, and one last thing, like this should be in the high quality itself. Now, once we have the nice pictures, now let's come once again to the title where I had asked you to keep the initial words relevant to the search done as I've been saying it. So yeah, if you did good with your keywords and you have placed them in a nice manner, you'll be good with this step already. So now moving ahead. As I said, I'll divide it into two parts. Now the second part for grabbing the first impression is altering things for the shop look. So now you did an amazing job. Your listing got clicked. Now the buyer is on your shop. So here you need to have a nice cover photo, and that is a must. So it's like your Facebook personal profile is having a nice banner so that people get to know about your personality, because your Etsy shop is representing your brand. So that cover picture should be merging up with the ideology that your brand is perspective. Now, second comes is the tagline under your shop name, and you can be artsy here and play around with your words. Well, you cannot even leave the about section at no cost. Share a story there, I'll say, and try using I rather than a non-living abstract pronoun. So here I'll say like talk in first person. That really helps in making connection. So like you can just simply have to be you and share how about like how you started this brand and what made you start Etsy store. People like love connecting, and talking about Etsy, it's all about community and connections being made there. Now, in the same row comes your user profile. Fill it up with nice words, and as an addition, share links to your social media accounts, because this opens up more doors for your buyers to connect with you offsite from Etsy. Now, the other point for first impression that I'm gonna say, it's gonna take you some time maybe, but the number of sales and reviews do play a crucial role when someone drops over your shop. So for this, I will suggest two simple techniques to gather reviews. Like first can be attaching a thank you note with the product when you ship it, and write on them to share good reviews. And this like literally works. Second can be you can drop them a chat message over Etsy chat itself when your product is delivered at their doorstep. And you can thank them for choosing your services or your product. And there, once again, you have a space to ask for a review. So now, once you are done with all of this, stay relieved because now your shop really looks good. But the third point here is maintaining credibility. So it's of great prominence as well. So there is one thing called listing quality. There is no rocket science. Let me quickly quote unquote what Etsy says about it. To show items that buyers are likely to purchase, Etsy's search algorithm also considers how well individual items tend to do in search. We call this listing quality. If a buyer clicks, favorites, or purchases an item after they've seen it in the search results, that action contributes to the listing's quality score. So that is the Etsy listing quality score. Let's know how you can attain a good quality score on your listing. So now these things would be the reiteration of whatever I have talked in this podcast episode earlier, because it's gonna revolve round and round. So I'll just keep it very quick, and so that you get an idea how you can achieve a good quality listing score. So use fantastic thumbnail photos and high quality product images. Told you that's important. Now the decision making time. Like I won't ask you to offer free shipping, but yes, offering free shipping is one of the ways to improve the listing score. And after the significant change where the free shipping products are now given the first page preference by Etsy, well, it's killing it there. The next in line is a detailed product description, which I have already told you about, where you need to include about your shop policies and other things in great detail. And in the queue comes having a great returns policy. So you see, customer is the king. Now, one similar thing is customer's experience score, which consists of a number of positive reviews, the shop policies, and how complete you have kept your shop details. And there is one market experience score as well, which now consists of cases opened against your shop if you have been failing to comply by the Etsy guidelines, or in case you have made any intellectual property infringement over Etsy marketplace. Well, these things are hot. I mean, you won't want to be blacklisted by Etsy, so yeah, pay attention to what I included in the last 30 seconds after I quoted unquoted Etsy's wordings. I mean, you can take the play bar back there. Like, I honestly mean it, because that are some hot rod things. Because that is important. That is important. Well, now with this, I see people, we have come to the end of this episode of Sell Around the Globe Etsy Marketplace, where we talked about the Etsy SEO and how you can rank your shop's product when a search is made over Etsy. In case you're new to Etsy and have started your business right away, well, do subscribe to us wherever you are listening to this podcast, because we are available over Google Podcasts, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and almost everywhere. So you can check out our previous episodes where we have talked about how you can start your Etsy shop and make your first sale, and about the top selling products that sell the most over Etsy marketplace. So yeah, this will be all, listeners, for this episode. I'll be right back with another episode of Sell Around the Globe Etsy Marketplace, where we'll be digging into deep into what are the best practices to flourish your business and become a pro seller over Etsy Marketplace. So listeners, that will be all. See you next time.